Do you know what it feels like to choke on silence? To sit in a room where every tick of the clock sounds like a verdict against you? That's where I was the night my sister tried to crush me in front of my entire family, and failed in the most spectacular way possible. The living room was packed, 15 relatives squeezed together, perfume and judgment heavy in the air. I sat by the window, my usual corner, the chair nobody else wanted. My sister, Selina, stood at the center like a queen holding court. Her designer suit gleamed under the light as if the fabric itself cost more than my car. Then she said it, "Your rent is tripling, $6,800. Effective immediately." The words cracked like a whip. Gasps, murmurs, uncomfortable shifting, all of it blurred together while I stayed perfectly still. To them, I looked powerless. But inside? I was steady. Because I knew something she didn't, but to understand that moment, you need to know what it was like growing up under Selina's shadow. She was the golden child, the miracle daughter. Harvard Law. Wall Street deals. Every holiday, the conversations revolved around her brilliance. Selina just negotiated a $12 million settlement. And then, the tilt. The inevitable glance toward me. "And Lena, you're still managing properties, right?" Yes, I was still at that property thing. I loved it. Old buildings, market numbers, the way a space could transform with vision, it lit me up inside. But fascination doesn't impress a family addicted to prestige. I was the one who needed tough love. And Selina gave it generously. For years, I rented one of Grandma's apartments. Selina managed the building as a favor, setting my rent just barely under market. Every payment, every repair delay, came with her smirk. "Most people like you couldn't afford this block." And I believed her. For a long time, I believed her, but 3 years before that fateful night, everything shifted. Grandma and I had a Sunday ritual, sorting her finances, sipping tea, reviewing investment notes. One evening, she pressed a card into my hand and whispered, "Sometimes the quiet ones see more than the loud ones. Remember that when the time comes." I didn't understand. Not then. But after her passing, a private lawyer, not the one Selina controlled, called me. Grandma had left me something separate. Enough to buy a future. Enough to build a foundation no one could take away, and I used it. Quietly. Strategically. Without telling a soul. So there I was, back in that living room. Selina with her graphs, her charts, her legal pad. She announced my discounted rent like she was performing charity. Aunt Margaret dabbed her eyes, whispering, "Selina, you're a saint." I wanted to laugh. But instead, I sat still. I traced the numbers on the lease she shoved across the table. $6,800. An amount meant to break me. "Sign it," she said sweetly. "Or start packing." Laughter rippled. My cousin muttered, "Guess you'll need roommates." No one defended me. Not my parents. Not my uncles. 15 pairs of eyes waited for me to crumble, but I didn't, because 20 minutes earlier, I had sent a text. And the reply had already come. On my way. Documents ready. The doorbell rang. Selina rolled her eyes. Who could that be? I rose, calm, almost smiling. When I opened the door, a man in a dark suit stepped in, briefcase in hand. He cleared his throat. "Good evening. I represent Horizon Holdings LLC. I'm here on behalf of the building's owner." The air changed instantly. My relatives shifted. Selina frowned. "Owner? I manage this property." The man adjusted his glasses. "Not anymore. Horizon Holdings purchased this building 3 years ago. The sole owner is," he paused, glancing at me, "Ms. Lena Hayes." Time stopped. Even the clock seemed to hesitate between ticks. Selina's face drained of color. "That's not possible," she snapped. I stepped forward, my voice steady. "You never asked, Selina." You were too busy humiliating me. While you were busy climbing ladders, I was building walls, brick by brick, around my own foundation. Gasps. Whispers. My father's jaw tightened. My mother's glass trembled in her hand. Cousin Noah muttered, "Wait, she owns the whole building?" Selena's lips quivered. You tricked me." "No," I said softly. "I just stopped letting you trick me." The lawyer laid the deeds on the table. "Every tenant here pays rent directly to Ms. Hayes. Including," his eyes flicked toward Selena, "your unit." The room erupted. Aunt Margaret clutched her pearls. My cousin, for once, stayed quiet. And Selena, she staggered back, her perfect posture collapsing. "You raised my rent," I whispered, leaning closer, "in a building where you're the tenant." Her face crumbled. "I won't pay you a cent." "You'll pay," I said evenly. "Or you'll leave. Just like you told me." The silence was absolute. For the first time in my life, no one sided with her. Later that night, I stepped outside, cool air brushing my face. I looked up at the windows glowing above me, the building that was mine. The one my sister had tried to weaponize against me, and for the first time, I didn't feel like the overlooked little sister. I felt like someone who had finally claimed her story. Weeks passed. Selena's calls came late at night, trembling with desperation. "We're sisters. You can't make me pay rent to you." I almost laughed. The same sister who used "sister" as a weapon for years now clutched it like a shield. Then came my parents, accusing me of humiliating her, of damaging the family's reputation. I answered with the only truth that mattered. Where was this concern when she was humiliating me? Their silence told me everything: that I fixed the building, painted the halls in warm colors Grandma loved. Tenants thanked me. And one night, I found Selena outside, pale under the streetlights. She stared at me like I was a stranger. "You've changed," she whispered. "No," I told her. "I just stopped letting you control the story." Her lips trembled, but she said nothing. Her heels clicked into the night, fading until only silence remained. That silence didn't choke me anymore. It set me free, and maybe that's what I want you to take from this. You are not defined by the voices that belittle you. You are not chained to the roles others force on you. Sometimes, the quietest revenge isn't revenge at all, it's simply owning the life they swore you'd never build. If my story lit something in you, hit like, share it with someone who needs strength tonight, and subscribe for more. And in the comments, tell me, when was the moment you finally owned your story? Because trust me, when you do, everything changes.